About Kensington Palace. Kensington Palace is a royal residence in Kensington Gardens in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, London, England. It has served as the residence of the British royal family since the 17th century, and is currently the official residence of Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, his wife, his eldest child, and his second child, Prince Richard, Duke of Gloucester, and his wife, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, and his wife, and Prince Michael of Kent and his wife, among others. Today, the palace's staterooms are open to the public and managed by an independent foundation called Historic Royal Palaces, a non-profit organization that does not receive public funding. The offices and private accommodation areas at Kensington Palace remain the responsibility of the Royal Household Property Department. History of Kensington Palace. The era of William III and Mary II. Kensington Palace was originally a modest two-story Jacobean mansion, built by Sir George Coppin in 1605 in Kensington Village. It was purchased in 1605 by Henegh Finch, 1st Earl of Nottingham, and became known as Nottingham House. Soon after William III and Mary II's accession in 1689, they began looking for a residence that would be better located for the asthmatic William, as Whitehall Palace was too close to the River Thames with its fog and flooding. In the summer of 1689, William and Mary purchased Nottingham House from Daniel Finch, 2nd Earl of Nottingham, for £200,000. They then commissioned Sir Christopher Wren to begin immediate expansion of the residence. In an effort to save time and money, Wren retained the original structure and added three-story pavilions at the four corners, providing more spacious accommodation for the King, Queen, and their guests. The Queen's apartments were in the northwest pavilion, while the King's apartments were in the southeast. Wren then reoriented the residence to face west, building north and south wings to complement this, creating a proper cour d'honneur. The palace was surrounded by separate gardens and formal state gardens, with paths and flowerbeads, in the Dutch style. The palace was occupied shortly before Christmas 1689. For the next 70 years, Kensington Palace was the favoured residence of the British monarch, although St James's Palace, which had not been occupied since the 17th century, remained the official seat of the monarchy. Several improvements were made later, including the extension of Queen Mary's apartments to build the Queen's Gallery, and the rebuilding of the King's Staircase with marble after a fire in 1691. The guard chamber was also built facing the foot of the staircase. William built the south front to a design by Nicholas Hawksmoor, including the King's Gallery where he displayed works from his collection of paintings. Mary II died of smallpox at the palace in 1694. In 1702, William fell from a horse at Hampton Court and was taken to Kensington Palace, where he died shortly afterwards of pneumonia. Anne's era. After the death of William III, the palace became the residence of Queen Anne. She commissioned Christopher Wren to complete the extensions begun under William and Mary, resulting in the Queen's apartments with the Queen's entrance, and a simply designed staircase with shallow steps so that the Queen could descend gracefully. This provided access between the apartments and the gardens. Queen Anne's most famous contribution was to the palace gardens. She commissioned the orangery in 1704, designed by Hawksmoor and modified by John Vanbrugh. The quality of the interior decoration, including detailed carvings by Grinling Gibbons, reflects its intended use, not only as a greenhouse but also as a place for entertaining. There is also a large Baroque parterre covering 121,000 square meters by Henry Wise, the royal gardener, with trees held in cones. Queen Anne's husband, Prince George of Denmark, died at the palace in October 1708. She died at Kensington Palace on August 1, 1714. The era of George I and George II. George I spent heavily on new royal apartments, creating 3 new rooms known as the Privy Chamber, the Cupola Room and the Withdrawing Room. In 1722, he hired the relatively unknown William Kent to decorate the staterooms. The Cupola Room was Kent's first work for the king. The octagonal vaulted ceiling is painted gold and blue, and the ends are decorated with horizontal panels with the Star of the Order of the Garter. The walls and woodwork are painted brown and gold to contrast with the white marble pilasters. Kent's final work at the palace was the King's Grand Staircase. George I was pleased with the work. George I also extended the palace with an additional apartment on the northwest side for his mistress, Melusine von der Schulenburg, Duchess of Kendal. The last British monarch to occupy Kensington Palace was George II, who made no major changes to the palace during his reign. He entrusted the management of the palace to his wife, Caroline of Ansbach. At the request of Queen Caroline, Charles Bridgeman, Henry Wise's successor as royal gardener, remodeled the outdated parterres and redesigned Kensington Gardens into its present form. His surviving works include the Serpentine, a pond called Round Pond, and the Broad Walk. After his wife's death, George II neglected many of the rooms and the palace fell into disrepair. King George II died at Kensington Palace on October 25, 1760. 21st century. On November 6, 2011, it was announced that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge would move from their temporary residence at Nottingham Cottage on the grounds of Kensington Palace to the 4-story, 20-bedroom apartment 1A, previously the residence of Princess Margaret. The renovation took 18 months and cost £4.5 million, including heating, electrics, plastering, asbestos removal and a new roof. The couple officially moved into the apartment with their son, Prince George of Cambridge, in October 2013. On March 28, 2012, it was reported that Prince Harry had moved from Clarence House to a 1-bedroom apartment at Kensington Palace. Note: Kensington Palace is the official residence of the British royal family and has been in use since the 17th century. Located in the exclusive area of Kensington, the palace is home to the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Kate, and their children. With elegant interiors and lush gardens, the palace exudes classic royal charm. In addition to being a royal residence, Kensington Palace also has a public gallery that displays various exhibitions on royal history, including a collection of royal clothing from the eras. One of the most iconic is Princess Diana's fashion collection. Visitors can enjoy a tour of the palace which offers an in-depth insight into the life of the royal family.